It's one of the most haunting missing persons cases in America. A young college student. A late-night phone call to his parents. And then, nothing. No screams, no struggle, no clue where he went. Just a dropped call, and a vanished life. This is the chilling story of Brandon Swanson, the 19-year-old who disappeared into thin air on a dark road in Minnesota, leaving behind a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. What really happened to Brandon that night? And why can't anyone find him? Stay with us as we uncover the unsettling details of the vanishing of Brandon Swanson. In the shadows of forgotten files, lies the truth no one dared to uncover. Welcome to the Lost Chronicle Files. Brandon Swanson was a 19-year-old from Marshall, Minnesota. He was like any typical college kid, smart, friendly, ambitious. He loved science, and after high school, he enrolled at Minnesota West Community and Technical College in Canby, about 30 miles from his hometown. Brandon's life was pretty normal. He had supportive parents, Brian and Annette Swanson, and good friends. People described him as responsible and driven. There were no red flags, no trouble, no major problems. That's why what happened on May 14, 2008, was so baffling. It all started on the night of May 13, 2008. Brandon had just finished his classes for the semester, and like many college students do after finals, he decided to celebrate. He attended two small get-togethers in the town of Canby. Witnesses later said he had some drinks, but no one thought he was heavily intoxicated. Around midnight, Brandon decided to head home to Marshall. The route should have been about a 30-minute drive, a familiar one to him. But Brandon never made it. Sometime around 1:15 a.m., Brandon accidentally drove his Chevy Lumina off the road into a ditch. He wasn't hurt, the car wasn't badly damaged, but he couldn't get it back on the road. Instead of panicking, Brandon did what any rational person would do: he called his parents for help. Brian and Annette Swanson were awakened by Brandon's call. He explained that he had driven off the road and was stuck in a ditch, but insisted he was near Lynn, a small town just outside of Marshall. He sounded frustrated, but not scared. Brandon told his parents to come get him, and even described seeing the lights of Lynn in the distance. Brian got in a family pickup truck, and they coordinated on the phone to flash their headlights at each other, hoping to spot where Brandon was. But they couldn't see each other's lights. Brandon was convinced he was near Lynn, but strangely, his parents couldn't find him anywhere nearby. The frustration mounted on both sides. After a while, Brandon decided he'd just walk toward the town of Lynn. He said he was taking a shortcut through fields and gravel roads. He kept his phone on the entire time, talking to his father to stay calm. Then, suddenly, everything changed. Brandon was on the phone with his father for over 45 minutes as he walked through the darkness. Occasionally, he would describe his surroundings: a fence here, a gravel road there. It was late spring in Minnesota, but that night it was unusually cold. Then, at 2:30 a.m., with no warning, Brandon suddenly said, "Oh, shit." And the phone call went dead. His father tried calling back immediately, but Brandon didn't answer. Over the next few hours, they kept trying to reach him, but it was hopeless. Their son was gone. At first, police didn't take the disappearance seriously. Brandon was 19, legally an adult, and technically he hadn't been missing long. But his parents knew something was wrong. By morning, they convinced the authorities to start a search. What they found only deepened the mystery. Brandon's car wasn't near Lind at all. It was located 25 miles away, near the small town of Taunton, along Lincoln County Road 16. That's in the opposite direction of where Brandon thought he was. How could Brandon be so wrong about his location? Was he disoriented? Was it the alcohol? Or was something else going on? Forensic analysis of Brandon's phone showed that he had indeed been walking in a generally northwest direction toward the Yellow Medicine River, not toward Lind, but toward a completely different rural area. Cadaver dogs later tracked Brandon sent down the gravel roads, over fences, and eventually to the edge of the river. The trail seemingly ended at the water's edge. But here's the strange part: search teams combed the river extensively. They dragged it, they sent divers, they used sonar. No body, no clothes, no backpack, nothing was ever found in or around the river. Could he have fallen in? Possibly. But wouldn't they have found something? Others wonder if Brandon faked his disappearance, but that makes no sense. He was on the phone with his dad for nearly an hour. Why keep talking if you plan to vanish? Then there are darker theories. Could Brandon have stumbled upon someone or something that night, something dangerous? Could he have been attacked or abducted after the call disconnected? What did Brandon see, or hear, that made him say, "Oh, shit"? Did he slip on an embankment into the water? Did he see headlights coming toward him? Was it an animal? Or was someone else following him in the dark? One haunting possibility is that Brandon might have been injured in some other way, twisting an ankle, falling down a slope, or meeting someone out there in the rural darkness who didn't have good intentions. But the truth is, nobody knows. That moment remains one of the greatest unanswered questions of the entire case. One major outcome of Brandon's disappearance was a change in Minnesota law. In 2009, the Brandon's Law was passed, requiring law enforcement to take immediate action when adults are reported missing under suspicious or dangerous circumstances. Before Brandon's case, officers often delayed adult missing persons investigations, assuming the person left by choice. Brandon's parents fought to make sure that never happened to another family again. It's now been over 15 years since Brandon Swanson disappeared. His parents have never stopped searching. Every year, new volunteers join search parties, combing through fields and waterways. Despite their heartbreak, Brian and Annette Swanson have become advocates for other families of missing persons, offering comfort and guidance to those enduring the same unbearable uncertainty they live with daily. As for Brandon, there's been no confirmed sighting, no discovery of remains, no definitive explanation. Brandon's disappearance remains one of the most unsettling unsolved cases in modern American history, not because of elaborate conspiracies or wild twists, but because of how ordinary it all seemed. A young man taking a familiar drive home, gone without a trace. It reminds us of how thin the line is between safety and disappearance. One wrong turn, one bad step, and a person can vanish forever. So, what happened to Brandon Swanson? Is his body still out there, hidden by nature or time? Or is this a case that will never be solved? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think happened to Brandon? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more true crime mysteries like this one. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and never stop searching for the truth. If you have any information about Brandon Swanson's disappearance, please contact the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office at 507-694-1664. Even the smallest tip might help bring closure to his family.